What's going on, everybody? Mortem here, this time bringing you news about gift bag update number 4 for Divinity Original Sin 2. So, first off, right off the bat, what are gift bags, right? So, if you're unaware, gift bags are small updates, mostly quality of life stuff that Larian has been giving to Divinity Original Sin 2. Now, they cover a wide variety of things, but we're going to focus on specifically what gift bag number 4 does, and then I'll kind of mention some things for the other ones since I haven't actually covered any of them. So, right off the bat, you need to understand that these gift bag things are considered mods, right? So, anytime you activate most of these, I think there's a couple it doesn't actually affect, but a lot of them, when you turn them on, it disables the achievements for your game. So, if you're still going through that honor mode playthrough, these aren't going to help you out. Like, these aren't for that. What specifically comes with gift bag update number 4? So, the bedroll is an item you can get pretty much immediately as soon as the game starts, like within the first minute or two. And what the bedroll does is restores health and armor in between combat. Now, in addition to doing that, it will also resurrect fallen companions who have died, who still need to be resurrected. The bedroll will resurrect them now if you choose to turn that on. And it will also restore your source points. Source points, of course, being required for your bigger spells. Like Dome of Protection, that little diamond is a source point. And this little diamond on your bar here is also a source point. And using the bedroll restores those now. Again, as long as you turn it on. Which brings me to my next point, before we go any farther. Gift bag features are save file specific and like a playthrough specific. So anytime you start a new game, you have to go into the options, click gift bag features, and then turn them on individually. Now these ones, from the ashes, which lets you do the resurrect with the bedroll. Source meditation, same thing, lets you restore source points for the meditation, which is your bedroll. Enhanced Spirit Vision, which increases the radius of the Spirit Vision and also makes it permanent. Now, Spirit Vision is a spell you get in Act 2 that lets you see ghosts and talk to them and interact with them for quest purposes. It's awesome. It also works with Pet Pal because you can find the ghost of pets and then talk to them as well. So, a big part of the game, and it used to be something that lasted like 20 turns and you had to activate it several times. Well, if you have this particular one turned on, it becomes a permanent spell. As soon as you get it, it just is on permanently. And then that brings us to the last one, which we're actually going to go over a bit more, and the entire reason I'm actually covering this update to begin with, by the way, is that they added the Divine Talents gift bag feature, which is that it adds more talents to the game. So the reason I've avoided talking about the gift bags at all, really, up until this point, is that most of them were just quality of life stuff, like almost all of them. Instead of there being a base 6 action points, you can get 8 now. If you choose to turn on 9 lives, that black cat that follows you around becomes a permanent follower. Herb Garden lets you grow herbs. Animal Empathy makes Pet Pal an intrinsic trait versus you having to spend a point on it. Crafter's Kit gives you a bunch of recipes. There's an Improved Organization, which gives you a ton of bags to organize your inventory with, because inventory in this game is honestly a bit of a nightmare. But more importantly, the Divine Talents ones, right? These are actually game-changing effects that they have added, which is, I was like, I gotta cover that because it changes like everything about the game. So, what are those talents? So, first off, we have Gladiator. Now, Gladiator, every time you're hit with a melee attack while you are wielding a shield, you will perform a counterattack, but only once per turn. So, it's kind of like an attack of opportunity, but when you're getting hit versus when they're going by you, which is really cool. Then we have Greedy Vessel. Every time someone casts a source spell in combat, you receive a 20% chance of gaining a source point. Now, the cool thing about this is it's every time anyone in the combat casts something. So if an enemy casts a source spell, or if your party casts a source spell, anybody with that talent has a 20% chance to get a source point. Then we have Haymaker, which appears to be bugged because, as you can see, the text is unclear. I assume it is a stun. There is a talent from the original Divinity Original Sin called Haymaker, so I assume it's probably at least similar to that, and that was basically a stun as well. So we have Indomitable, which every time you are stunned, frozen, knocked down, polymorphed, petrified, or crippled, for one turn after being affected by that, you become immune to it for the next turn. So basically any status that would cause you to lose a turn, it can't happen twice in a row because it will then trigger Indomitable and you won't lose your turn twice versus just losing it once. So if you're stunned because you stepped into electric water or whatever, you lose that first turn, but then the next turn you become immune to it, so it doesn't affect you anymore. Then we have magic cycles. At the start of every encounter, you gain one of two statuses, Cycle of Fire and Water or Cycle of Earth and Air. Cycle of Fire and Water increases Pyro and Hydrosophist by 2, which gives you more damage for those elements, and the same thing for Earth and Air, except Geomancy and Aerithurgy. So basically, once a turn, these two statuses will swap. So you'll get one at the start of combat, and then the next turn it'll switch to the next one, and basically it just increases your elemental damage. So if you're playing an elemental mage, I would say that's almost a must-have. And then we have Master Thief. So while pickpocketing, you become invisible. Now, if you've played this game much at all, you know that when you're trying to pickpocket something, which is a very fun way to play the game, mind you, it's super easy to get caught. Because if that NPC turns around while you're pickpocketing them, you're caught. Like, you have to plan it out really well. So I think Master Thief will help an intense amount with that. And then from there we have Sadist. So melee attacks deal additional fire damage to burning targets, poison damage to poison targets, and physical damage to bleeding targets. So basically, if something is on fire, poisoned, or bleeding, your melee attacks will deal additional relevant damage types to those targets. So if you melee attack a burning target, you're going to do extra fire damage. If you use a melee attack against a poisoned target, it's going to do extra poison damage, etc. And then lastly, we have Soul Catcher. When an allied character dies, a zombie crawler is raised at their corpse under their control. Zombie crawler lasts 3 turns or until the character is resurrected. Does not affect summoned creatures. So this is awesome, especially for like necromancers. So necromancy is a really cool tree, but the problem is it's almost more melee focused. Like the Death Knight and Inquisitor builds are just really popular because it's like a melee necromancer, and the necromancer tree really kind of hammers that in. So Soul Catcher kind of helps diversify the necromancy tree a little bit, because you can give this to your necromancy character, and then it kind of adds some flavor to it, if not direct combat prowess. So that is everything from Gift Bag 4, guys. So I hope I've been pretty clear. If I haven't, I'm sure you guys will let me know. But that is the gift bag features. That's how to activate them, what this particular one does. Now, just to go over some of the others that I didn't mention, just to make this a complete video since I haven't covered the other ones. If you're just interested in Gift Bag 4, this is the end of it for you. There's nothing more relevant. However, for the other gift bags, we have the 8 action points, which increases the base maximum action points of hero characters to 8 instead of 6. We have 9 lives, which makes the Black Cat from Act 1 a permanent follower after you rescue it. It gives you a whistle instead of a summon, and you can like summon it and it'll follow you around. It's pretty cool. Herb Garden. This lets you grow herbs. You can take any herb and combine it with a bucket to create a seedling, and then you can make that seedling grow. Source Mediation and From the Ashes I already covered. We have Animal Empathy, which lets you take the Pet Pal perk without actually taking Pet Pal. So Pet Pal used to let you talk to animals. Instead, now it will just grant you maximum positive attitude with animals versus letting you talk to them. So basically, you don't have to spend the point on getting to talk to animals, which was a huge deal. Like, a huge part of this game is talking to animals, by the way. So this talent is huge for that. Hagglers will let you use your reputation of one character, whoever has the highest, for your entire party. So before this, if you wanted to get the best prices, you had to give bartering to one specific character and then let them do pretty much all of the trading. This lets you share that across your party, so you don't actually have to like manually click on the character who has the skill to do the trading. Combat randomizers. When entering combat, enemies will actually get new special statuses created for this. It's just a way to diversify combat. Honestly, I think honor mode's hard enough, so hard pass, but it's there for some people. Crafter's Kit gives plenty of recipes and unique items and stuff. Crafting is not a huge deal in this game, in my opinion, so this is just an attempt to diversify it a little bit. Like, there's 2 or 3 items that need to be crafted, and that's pretty much it. Divine Talents I just covered, Enhanced Spirit Vision I mentioned, Fort Joy Magic Mirror. This adds a magic mirror, which is actually the one you just saw me use down here in the arena of Fort Joy. They add a magic mirror, which lets you respec your character and everything. This is important because prior to that, there was not one available in Act 1 of the game. You had to wait until Act 2, so turning this on lets you use that in Act 1. Improved Organization just gives you a ton of collectible bags, which lets you organize your inventory. Those are pretty handy. So like you'll get a ranged weapons bag, a quest items bag, and then you can sort them appropriately. Every character you have will get the full assortment of them, and it'll just kind of help you keep things organized for yourself. And then we have Pet Power, which lets you, it basically lets any character use infusion spells on any summon, not just your own. So basically you can use the infusion spells for the summoning skill on everyone's incarnate versus just your own. Endless Runner will let you basically turn sprint on or off permanently. It used to not be a toggle, so there you go, that's a thing, I guess. And then probably the most important one, honestly, is Sorcerous Sundries. In every major hub, you can now find a vendor selling exotic and potent artifacts. These artifacts upgrade your character's own gear, bringing them up to the player's current level. So why does this matter? This is a huge one. This is honestly the most important. Uniques in this game do not scale to your level, while everything else does. So if I'm level 20 and I find a wooden club, that's going to be a level 20 wooden club versus a level 1 wooden club if I'm level 1. Now, Sorcerous Sundries lets you bring other items up to your level. Now, in the case of a wooden club, that wouldn't matter because I could just find a level 21, right? However, the unique items in the game are unique, and I'm not going to find another one. So if I find a unique item that is level 5 and now I'm level 20 and I would like to use it because it has a cool effect, I can go to this vendor, I can buy an artifact, I can upgrade that unique item to level 20 and make it relevant again. So again, Sorcerous Sundries, probably the best one. So there you go, guys. That is a quick look at gift bag number 4. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions or anything you want to add, like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz, because legally you can't watch a YouTube video without me mentioning that. So there's that for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.